It's Wednesday, the 18th of September 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories in 5 minutes. Let's get cracking. Story number 1, the federal government has done a trade deal with the United Arab Emirates, or the UAE, which in the short term will save local exporters $160 million in tariffs, but in the longer term could help access billions of dollars in investments.
Trade Minister Don Farrell yesterday said trade between the two countries, currently worth just under $10 billion, will increase significantly under the deal, with 99% of Aussie products able to enter the UAE without paying tariffs. Australia's main exports to the UAE include alumina, that's one of the big ones, meat, dairy, oilseeds, higher education. It's our biggest trading partner in the Middle East. Mr. Farrell said imported goods from the UAE included furniture, copper wire, glass containers and plastics. These goods should become cheaper at the checkout or for tradies or for whoever's buying them. The deal would make it easier for skilled Australians to temporarily work in the UAE. The prize in all of this, though, might be a $30 billion climate-focused investment vehicle unveiled by the UAE last year. Trade Minister Don Farrell is hopeful of marrying that investment with preferential treatment for Australian suppliers of critical minerals and rare earths.
Sean, is it just me, or have we signed a whole bunch of free trade deals in recent years? It feels like a trend.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yesterday makes it 19 free trade or cooperation agreements in place, though sometimes free might be a little optimistic. The FTAs include deals with Chile, India, New Zealand, UK, US, Hong Kong, China, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand and Peru. There's also deals with countries in the region that come under a larger umbrella agreement. For years, governments around the world tried massive multilateral agreements. Now it's all about two-way trade deals. Michael?
I love that we have one with Peru. It feels like the most obscure country in the world to have a free trade agreement with, but hey, why not?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it's a great idea.
On to story number 2. Fund manager Regal Partners has made a bid for global equities group Platinum Asset Management, sending the latter's share price up nearly 15%.
It's a merger of royalty in funds management. Platinum was founded by one of Australia's best-known investors, Kerr Nielsen, while Regal is run by one of the country's most successful recent investors, Phil King. If successful, Regal will control a $29 billion funds management empire, which puts it in the big league. Regal's bid is a scrip-based offer, meaning Platinum shareholders will get shares in Regal if the deal goes ahead. The inferred bid price is $1.14 a share compared to Platinum's closing price on Monday of 99 cents a share. It's a premium, not a huge one. The two companies are in the same industry but on very different trajectories. Regal is growing, buying businesses. Its share price is up 45% this year. Platinum is shrinking. Its share price is down 85% from its peak of 9 years ago.
Paddington Bear comes from Peru, Sean.
Thanks very much for that. Let's move on to the story number 3.
That's just a little tidbit of information there. Thought you might find it handy and useful. Story number 3, a serious one. The rate of business failures is at its highest level in 3.5 years when Australia was in the midst of the COVID pandemic.
The failure rate for Australian businesses is sitting at an average of 4.95%, and Credit Reporting Bureau Creditor Watch expects it to go beyond 5% over the next 12 months. Low levels of consumer spending, high inflation and interest rate increases are driving the failures, with food and beverage industry hardest hit, followed by administrative and support services. At the other end of the scale is agricultural, forestry and fishing. Not helping is the fact that the tax office is actively chasing debts. So too are the banks. Court actions are now well above pre-COVID levels. Not auguring well for the future is a jump in business payment defaults, which according to Creditor Watch have risen 68% in the past year to record levels.
Story number 4, Sean. Labor government and business haven't always had the friendliest of relations. And while there's plenty of noise around business being upset with the Albanese government at the moment, the Prime Minister himself says everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, so speaking ahead of last night's annual Business Council of Australia dinner, Mr Albanese said the government isn't going to revisit industrial relations reforms that have irritated the business community. He said the government had created 1 million jobs since coming to power, with higher wages included in that. Now, in his speech last night, Mr Albanese said the 5 areas which the Business Council cite as needing attention: housing, cost of living, the care economy, net zero and schools are all being addressed by the government. So that means the business community is interested, the government's interested, therefore both are in sync. Not sure about that logic, Michael.
Perhaps not. Last one, story number 5. Big story, this one, Sean. The work from home revolution is waning, with Amazon, the latest big tech company, to order people back into the office 5 days a week.
From next year, things are going back to pre-COVID ways of working, CEO Andy Jassy said. He said it is easier for teammates to learn, model, practice and strengthen culture, and collaborating, brainstorming and inventing are simpler and more effective when everyone's in the office. Amazon will also end hot desking and bring back assigned floor plans in its US buildings. Amazon has been in the vanguard of the return to office drive, making it an outlier among many tech companies. Google, for example, requires staff regularly to attend one of its buildings just 3 times a week. Many startups remain completely remote. Other industries like financial services, there is definitely more of a push to get people back into the office.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It is Wednesday, the 18th of September, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed wherever you listen to podcasts, or at fearandgreed.com.au, which is also where you can sign up for our free weekly newsletter, which actually comes out today. So it is a great time to head to the website and pop your email address in so that you get that when it lands mid-morning. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.